against the New York Jets. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they can get it.
Nifty move there on the run, but ultimately brought down at the 25. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Bortles to throw on second down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in with the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
They didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense,
and he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Gone! Detroit!
On 1st down, Darnold. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 19 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. A Jet 1st down, 18 big yards that time.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Watch it now, Barney!
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. Dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
New York set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Tackle that time by Ronnie Harrison.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
On second down, it's Bell. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And they'll get him down up past the 15. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he stopped immediately there. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. The give is to Bell. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Darnold on third down. Found his target. It's Anderson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here's Carson. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Darnold now on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. Yeah, this will get him all the way inside of Jacksonville's 10.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive the team towards a victory.
And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Leopard! Over!
They'll try and run it in with Bell.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Still second down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Malik Jackson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Spread right, 72. Screen 80.
From midfield, here's Bortles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Give him 30 yards there. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football. Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
will too.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
No, check. Patriot!
Now it's Carson. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
A give to Bell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against him.
So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Gone!
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Hauled in by Anderson left side. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
He'll get it up the middle, and he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of 9 there, and it puts him in better shape here for second and goal. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at them.
Tighten up.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Le'Veon Bell, as the first half is winding down, and the Jets are able to make this a close game again.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. So why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Bell. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And the blitz does come. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fights him off. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Again, it's Fournette. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
New York set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They run it with Carson. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here's Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Partner, those are back-to-back 6-yard runs, and if they're going to continue to get those types of plays, shoot, you just keep running the same stuff, don't you?
Yeah, it was 1st and 10 and 2nd and 4. Now 1st and 10 again. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Past the 20! And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one good for 33 and a first.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go play action here on first down. This is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
And yes, they want the point, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would
even
be
know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Hopkins with the extra point. Back to the NFL scoreboard for a second, third quarter in Indy. And scoring again, the Rams have widened that lead a bit further. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On second down, here's Bortles. A throw outside, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Smith catches left side. It's a big play for the Jaguars. And even 40 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Bortles going to run it through with Fournette. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Now Bortles, and that is incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3 and not giving up 6.
And his kick is good. And that will tie things at 17 all. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 37. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. They'll go again with Bell. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
No gain on the play there, second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on second down is Darnold. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it, He's taken down.
Like the footwork back there, and I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Bortles. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Shotgun now for Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete. And the Jaguars send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taking it around the 40. Another spin. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Gun! All right, here we go.
Darnold from the gun. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still
all for
2nd
naught
down
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. And then people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He's going to let this one go deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
On second down, here's Fournette. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
From the gun on third down, Bortles unable to corral him. He fights through. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
380.
Here's a give to Fournette. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw, it's Bortles. Throw left side complete. That's Lee. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
380.
On third down, Fournette. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
This is taken at the 18. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. A fourth quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 2nd down, Darnold. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Darnold now to throw. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Again, it's Bell. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Darnold out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock, so tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Back to throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A handoff to Fournette. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He's back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Smith. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the 1st down, but I thought that was the key.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. I'll tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And New York set to take the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
Check. Right now. Watch it now, Barney.
Now Bell. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Darnold, his first throw in overtime. Caught here by Bell. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
This is Carson. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run again with Carson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Lucky 56.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Wide open receiver, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
This is Bell. Finding room to the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
No. Check. Patriot.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now at a 3rd and 6.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Opening drive of overtime and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. The give is to Bell. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out come the Jags. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.